Some of you have asked me to do videos about nutrition. Well, that's a huge area, and it's definitely an area where I'm no expert. But nevertheless, if we love food, like a lot of us cyclists do, it's good to take an interest in the food itself. Not only the way it's grown, but its preparation, how to cook for ourselves, what's nutritious, because nutrition is really, really important, especially if you're trying to be healthy. Well, we don't all have to be experts on the things we do in life, and that's the same with nutrition. It's good to have a healthy interest in it, but we don't have to be obsessed. Nevertheless, it's good to know the basics. Remember Brussels sprouts when you were young? Perhaps you didn't like them. I'm just taking that as an example because a lot of kids when they were young didn't like Brussels sprouts, and I was one of them. But you know what? When you prepare Brussels sprouts properly, if they're grown properly and they're cooked properly, they're really nice. What's the number one cycling food that we eat? Bananas? Surely it's got to be. Well, how many of us can honestly grow bananas? How many of us have banana plantation or a banana tree in our backyard? Honestly, the amount of bananas a cyclists eat, so you really got to buy bananas. That's one thing you got to do. So if you can afford some biodynamic banana of some kind, that's fine. I can't afford that, they're very expensive, so I just buy ordinary bananas, do my best, because they're pretty much almost the best food on the planet. I shouldn't really say that, and I don't believe that there is such a thing, because each food is individual. However, bananas have a lot in them, a lot of the goodness, a lot of the things the body needs. It's almost a complete food in itself. You can almost live on bananas, except who wants to live on just bananas? Anyhow, banana, the superfood for cyclists and for most athletes, you're going to have to buy it. 99.9% of us are going to have to buy our bananas. So when they're cheap, you buy them. They go off quick, so it's just one thing you're just going to have to buy on a regular basis. Every time you go to shops, your trolley's going to have bananas in it. We all like being healthy, right? Let's face it, that's one reason why we like riding our bikes. Now, being healthy consists of three things. Firstly, exercise. In our case, it's mostly riding our bikes. Secondly is nutrition, which is food and fluids or water. And the third aspect is sleep. Now we're going to consider nutrition, and that's why we're in a veggie garden. Getting good nutrition is something we can all improve on. And no, it's not about having cappuccinos and cakes, although that's nice every now and again. It's about having quality food and getting the most nutrients you can. That way you'll maximize your recovery and increase your performances. Now, all the nutrients we need initially comes from the ground, and a great way of extracting that from the ground is with plants. Plants do a wonderful job. So if we can not just increase the quantity of our plants, but the quality of plant material, we're on our way to higher nutrition. Considering quality, and unfortunately, even though very convenient, the supermarket isn't the ideal situation to purchase quality fruit and veg. And the reason is mass production today. They use a lot of herbicides and pesticides and any other ides which are poisonous and carcinogenic. Secondly, you got genetically modified crops. And thirdly, the soil isn't always as good quality either. So you only need to taste a supermarket tomato compared to a homegrown tomato to highlight that fact. So how can you get quality fruit and veg? One way is to grow your own. Now, I'm lazy at most things, including gardening, but I'll just show you quickly around my garden. So here we've got some corn growing, and it's probably got another month or a bit to grow. Then over here we've got some cherry tomatoes growing. Then over here I've just transplanted the silver beet, but it's coming along well. And you can just eat the stems as well as the leaves. There's some beetroot, there's some parsley, and there's some more spinach and silver beet, and then there's potatoes growing. Potatoes, fresh potatoes out of the ground are so yummy, way nicer than the supermarket ones. Garlic, and this is a grapevine here. There's some grapes coming along there. There'll be another couple of months, and sometimes the birds eat a lot of them as well, but I don't mind, that's fine. As long as they can leave me some grapes, that's good. It says herbs you can grow. This is rosemary, garlic chives, garlic chives, and there's some mint there. Don't use mint much, but it's still there. Normally I grow a lot more than this, but at least you get the general idea. So I encourage you to grow your own vegetables. If you can grow fruit as well, even better. Now if you haven't got much land to spare, if any, you can always grow in pots, and it's amazing what you can grow in pots. You may not be able to grow corn, but you can certainly cram a lot of stuff in a small pot, and if you get multiple numbers of pots you can get a lot of crop. Now most of the time you won't be able to grow everything. It all depends on the conditions where you live. Some things will thrive and other things won't do so well, so just focus on the things that do grow well. Now quantity. It sounds easier than what it really is. Just try eating 4 carrots and see how long it takes you. So I encourage you to buy a juicer, a good quality juicer, and that way you can go into your garden and pick what you necessarily need to do and you can juice them. So here's my juicer and here's my ingredients, and what to juice we'll cover in another video. Bon appetit!